Joining us now is Police Chief Koval. Tell us what happened down there today, Chief. Why were some people arrested?
Well, we had given them a wide berth because it's part of a national day of a reckoning of sorts. And so what happened is that they occupied the intersection starting at about 12:30. I told my officers to cut them some reasonable berth, but I did tell my command team that on no uncertain terms would we be allowing them to have the intersection up into the rush hour. So by about 3:15, we began making arrests.
Up until this point, how have you felt about how the protesters and demonstrators have behaved?
Exceptionally well. I think there's been an understanding that everybody has an opportunity for public dissent. A lot of people, it's a polarizing issue. We want to facilitate that. But we also have to be mindful that everybody's rights, including the right of movement of traffic and people to get to their destinations, is important. So we felt that the time that we had allotted was reasonable.
Chief Officer Matt Kenny was cleared yesterday of any criminal prosecution in this case relating to the shooting. How is he doing? How did he react to the news? Have you talked to him since then?
I've talked to him a couple times since then, and it feels like an incredible burden has been lifted. He always felt that he had acted appropriately and according to his training, and this sort of validates that. And so he's feeling like he can now move and pick up those pieces of his life and move forward again and pursue his passion as a Madison police officer.
I know you have an internal investigation going on right now, and that comes after he was cleared in any criminal charges.
Right.
Do you have any reason to believe that he did anything inappropriately according to Madison Police Department procedure in this case?
Well, at this juncture, I'm withholding any judgment on that as well, because that's done independently as well by the Professional Standards Unit. And so if in fact that any sort of discrepancies do occur or things that weren't vetted properly, they'll bring that to my attention as part of my consideration of looking at the administrative review.
So could Officer Kenny be back on the streets then, patrolling?
At some point, absent some sort of compelling distinction that something was wrong, at some point it will be a decision that will be in his best interest, but it also has to be counterbalanced with community needs.
Will anything change in your policies and procedures because of this shooting? I know one question that keeps popping up is, why did Officer Kenny go up that hallway and not wait for the backup, which, as we saw in the video, came just seconds later?
Yeah, ultimately he would have had to have been relying on the doctrine of exigent circumstances, meaning that there was a need to take immediate action, time brooks no delay, and that he must have thought someone was in imminent peril but for his entering when he did. That'll be part of the process that we'll have to look at, because some people have said make it a two-officer call at all times under all circumstances. But before we overreach, we want to slow things down, take a look at the pros and cons of the issue.
How is morale? I mean, the things that are being said today to the officers as they stand there, I heard them yesterday out on Williamson Street.
Yeah.
Sometimes they hurl things at words anyway, at the media as well. But
right.
How is the morale of your department right now?
I think probably much like the community, we are road weary. We are tired. The cumulative or aggregation of all of this stuff weighs heavily on the human condition, and we're part of that condition. And so I think that, in a sense, having a sense of closure and an opportunity for some reconciliation, healing, and moving on, this is an opportunity for us to really highlight so much of the good work that we do, and we don't want to be defined by officer-involved shootings.
Right. Chief Koval, thank you so much. I know you're very busy today. We appreciate your coming in, and as always, here to NBC 15 News.
Appreciate the opportunity. Thanks.
Right, Chief. Thanks.